What we have done with Jibility is simplified a lot of that thinking, a lot of that methodology that's out there into what we call the 6 Jibility steps or Jibility 6 steps. With challenges, we're asking you to list the problems or opportunities that you're solving for. We recognize that most organizations have their own ways of coming up with the strategic vision or strategic goals. So Jibility is not about replacing the methods that you use to come up or formulate that. What we do is ask you the question of whatever that strategic goals, strategic visions are, what were the challenges you were solving for? What were the opportunities or problems you're addressing? We list here the challenges, and the next step from there, we start to then articulate, well, for those challenges, what are the objectives or outcomes that you need to meet in order to address those challenges? And for every challenge, you can have a link to a number of objectives. And from there, we move to capabilities, which is asking the questions, what are the capabilities in your organization? What are the building blocks in your organization that enables you to do what you do? And for those capabilities, which are the ones that would need to change in order to meet those objectives and in order to address those challenges? For the capabilities that needs to change, what are the actions or courses of actions required for each of those capabilities in order to change those capabilities to deliver to your objectives? And for the courses of actions that you have formulated, which in most cases you have quite a number of them, how would you group them together into logical units of works that we call initiatives, or packages of work, which we call initiatives? The initiatives are then laid out onto roadmap, and the sequence and how you lay out those initiatives is what makes up your roadmap. And your roadmap will consist of verticals, which we call stages, and horizontals, which we call themes. So that is the Jibility 6 steps. Now, the Jibility 6 steps, as we've laid it out here, looks very sequential. Of course, you can execute the Jibility 6 steps from the left to right. However, what we propose actually is a more of an iterative incremental approach, which we'll see in this diagram. The Jibility 6 steps are now laid out in a cycle which allows you to execute iterative. Jibility as a tool enables you to start from anywhere within the 6 steps, and it's not uncommon for some of our users to actually start somewhere, say, with initiatives, because when they start using Jibility, they already have a list of initiatives. And what they're using Jibility to answer the question of is, for those initiatives that we have already formulated previously, why those ones, and which ones are the more important ones we should have on our roadmap? So in which case, what they would do is enter into Jibility their list of initiatives and work backwards by answering the question of what are the actions that these initiatives are tasked to deliver, which capabilities do they then deliver to, which objectives would be met if we deliver those changes, and for that matter, which challenges are we solving for? So in Jibility, you can actually work forward by inputting your list of challenges, then describing objectives. In fact, you can work backwards and forward between these two. And these 2 steps is what we describe as understanding why you're doing what you're doing. And then the following 2 steps, capabilities and course of action, is about understanding or analyzing what. And followed by that are the initiatives and roadmaps steps, which is about visualizing the how. So we encourage you, when you're using Jibility, to actually work through this iteratively. So create a cycle as quickly as you can to essentially create a minimal viable strategy roadmap that would then allow you to test with your stakeholders, gather feedback, and from there, iterate through again. And sometimes you may work backwards again because you discover that you've created some elements such as a capability, and then ask yourself the question, well, which objective is that delivering to? And then if you create an objective, you may be prompted to ask the question, well, actually, what challenges is that for? And so forth. So this is how we encourage you to work with Jibility.